Hi students, welcome to your second week of your social media marketing class. Today is Sunday, December 9th, and I've pretty much got this class all prepped for you. So I thought I would do this little intro video before I take it live. Hopefully by now you're working your way through the Zen book. You've been spending some time out on Facebook, most of you have, getting to know each other. If you're not comfortable with Facebook, it's going to be important that you get in the habit of checking it regularly. I know that if you're not somebody who's already using it, it's kind of a new habit to develop and maybe one that you've actually avoided trying to get into. But because of the topic of this class, social media marketing, I want to make sure that you are comfortable using that tool and just starting to realize how people integrate Facebook into their lives. Certainly it's not the only social media marketing tool we're going to talk about. I think oftentimes actually Facebook comes too much to people's mind and they don't realize the breadth of what's covered under social media marketing. But it just makes sense to me for us to be using a social media tool like that as the chat mechanism for this class instead of burying it in Google. Plus, for those of you that are regular Facebook users, it means this class really comes to life in your day-to-day activities. There's a few things I'm going to want you to do this week. As I will every week, I've got a public-facing video for you. The goal of these videos is to get you looking at things that maybe otherwise you wouldn't normally go out and look at. Some of you may already be really into this subject, so maybe this is the kind of thing you look at and read all the time. This week's public video is a 1-hour interview, a C-SPAN interview with an author by the name of Ken Auletta. Last year I required this class to read the book that Ken is speaking about in this interview. But the book is a little dated now, although the fundamental topics are still essential. So rather than have you spend time reading it, I thought that I would just tack on this public video, this 1-hour video during week 2 to kind of get you exposed to the concept and make you appreciate how much the media and marketing world has changed as the result of Google and how that Google ripple effect is playing out across so many other areas, avenues of social media, how they really sort of changed the paradigm of marketing. So please make sure you watch that video early in the week and talk about it a little bit with your peers. The other big thing I have you starting to do this week, in addition to finishing up the Zen book, is starting to teach yourself how to use new technologies or new tools on the internet. It's always a little tough when I teach a class like this because you all come with a different baseline knowledge or experience. Many of you, or at least some of you I know, are very comfortable already getting over the learning curve or teaching yourself how to do something new by watching internet or web tutorials, researching something new. Some of you, this may be a very new concept for. So, knowing that folks are starting with all different baselines and potentially taking the work that they're going to do up to a different level depending on where you're starting, I'm going to keep the assignment that's due on December 23rd a bit flexible. Now this is a mini assignment. There's not a ton of points assigned to this activity, but I found that it was an important thing to start to get students who potentially weren't familiar or comfortable with all of these social media tools, building their confidence and realizing that you really can, frankly, teach yourself to almost do anything related to marketing or social media by snooping around on the web. And the sort of easy place or easy exercise to start with that was in the creation of a blog or a website. Don't get scared. There's two basic tools that most individuals use, or most companies use, if you want to just get started on this. And that's not to say that there's not hundreds and hundreds of tools out there. But I think the two that would be the easiest for you to start with would be either Blogger.com, www.blogger.com, or WordPress, spelled just like it sounds, all one word, WordPress.com. Both of these are mainstream software tools that many companies use to develop their corporate blogs, individuals use to develop their own personal blogs, that some companies use to actually create their own company websites. If you start Googling sample corporate WordPress blogs or sample WordPress blogs or sample Blogger or Blogspot blogs, you'll find all kinds of terrific examples. So basically what I'm looking for you to do between now and December 23rd is start to teach yourself how to build a blog or a simple website using these tools, and by December 23rd you'll be posting a link URL up for me to look at and see how much you've learned through this exercise. These are free software tools. It's not going to cost you to do anything, to do this, although it's going to be some time. If you're somebody that's already incredibly familiar with Blogger or WordPress, and I know there's at least a couple of you out there that probably have already earned this badge, what I'd like you to do is maybe look at an existing blog or website that you've created and think about some features that you've been thinking about adding, or some apps or add-ons that maybe you just haven't had time to explore, and use the time allotted for this exercise to take your work from here to that next level. So I'm going to let you talk to me on Facebook, talk to each other on Facebook about tools, what you're learning, tutorials, links, how to approach this. This is really going to be our sort of classroom exchange over the next couple weeks, all culminating in the goal of you will have accomplished this hopefully and posted a link for me to see your work for that first mini assignment that's due on the 23rd. So I'm going to stop talking here now. But I look forward to talking to you online in Facebook, and by next week I'm going to be posting, or during next week's class I'll post a schedule for us to start to have one-on-one phone conversations too. I usually like to try to do that right about the third week of the semester, after you've sort of started to get your sea legs for the class, and it gives me a chance to start to talk to you. It will also be next week when I start to set the stage for your first big project that'll be due. And the phone conversation lets us talk about that, and I can answer any questions that you might have. So I hope the class is going well for you. Please stay in touch with me if you need anything, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.